Hello everyone and welcome back to another round of Neo Racing League Season 5. We are here in the Styrian Hills for the Austrian Grand Prix and round 10 of the season. The circuit is 2.6 miles with 10 turns, 3 to the left and 7 to the right, and 3 DRS zones completing the circuit. The Red Bull Ring hosts its third ever Neo race, with both races in Season 2 and Season 4 being won by affiliated Red Bull drivers. Season 2 we saw Maricom take victory, and in Season 4 we saw Speed Queen take victory here as the junior and senior teams dominate the circuit. It's also the home of the second place driver in the standings tonight, Formula Leon. The track record around here is a 1 minute 5.641, which Shoot Fizzle, our last season champion, almost broke by just 3 thousandths of a second last season, but couldn't manage to quite do it. I'm your commentator, Jamie Jackson, and I'm going to take you through proceedings tonight as we get into today's race. However, we've got some things to clear up first. We've got last week's race results for the Mystery Grand Prix, which was at Mexico, which saw Alfred take victory by 1.5 seconds over Formula Leon. Alfred Carrigo finished in third, rounding out the podium, leading us with a tight battle at the front, while Gary Gator and Marchmeister finished 4th and 5th. Funny Wave Banda and Burl finished 6th and 7th. J Hydronics finished ahead of Starscom and Extreme Enigma, who rounded out the top 10. This leaves us with the driver standings looking like this. 13 points separate the top 3, while Alex Carrigo leads on 112 points, ahead of Formula Leon on 100. But Alfred's only 1 point further behind on 99 in third, while Speed Queen sits in 4th still. Gary Gator sits in 5th, while J Hydronics is in 6th. ART Optic, Funny Wave Band, Marchmeister and Kevin Cow round out the top 10 in the standings. The constructors see Sauber at the top by 12 points over Alpine as they continue their fight over the constructors, who sit 2 points further ahead of Red Bull. Haas sit in 4th, while Ferrari ran out the top 5. RB sit in 6th, while McLaren and Aston sit in 7th and 8th. Mercedes just go ahead, drop down to 9th, while Williams round out the top 10. We've now into qualifying. It is a 10 driver field tonight, so we are in a short qualifying format. So that means that the drivers here have just got to deal with one 18-minute session. Currently have Gary Gator currently out and fastest at the moment, 1 minute 3.6, while Alfred sits on a 1 minute 3.9. Quite the opposite of what we saw last week, where we saw Alfred just a couple tenths clear of Gary in the first part of qualifying. Alex Carrigo, though, is currently on a lap. Currently our championship leader goes through Sector 2 into Sector 3 now. So we got up the hill through turns 8 and now down towards turn 9 we go. What sort of time will we see from the Ferrari driver, our championship leader, who goes onto the curb, runs a little bit wide on the penultimate corner, goes up towards the final corner now. It is a little bit of raindrops there as he crosses the line. It is a 1 minute 5.1. Certainly not going to be happy with that as the track starts to deteriorate quite quickly and severely. So we'll see how that one affects the session. We've currently got the only driver without a lap time is a Marchmeister with no time. Fastest Zeus of 1 minute 8.3 will, I assume, want to be able to go faster than that. As we quickly scroll through and then we open up the map. There we go. So we've got a couple drivers still out on track. Funny Wave Band comes into the pits. Bell, I believe, will come into the pits as well. Alex Carrigo will, I believe, either go for another lap maybe, or will they come into the pits? The rain is coming down though, and I believe it is a bit too late for anyone to complete another lap time, and I believe that it's going to end us with Gary Gator, who ended our current provisional pole sitter, has gone into a wall somewhere, lost both ends of their front wing, and that has ended them with a fair bit of front wing damage there. So at the moment, that is not a good sign for the RB driver. We've got a couple of drivers coming into the pit lane. Yes, it is too wet now, 11 minutes and 35 seconds to go, so that will probably leave us with the grid looking a bit like this. No one will be able to go out again, and one shot with all the drivers looking to have the opportunity to go for a pole. We see Gary Gator 3.6, got in there early. Alfred second, 3.9. Formula Leon behind in 4.4, ahead of Funny Way Ban and Burl, while Alex Carrigo, our championship leader, sits in 6th, just ahead of Sluskhan and Extreme Enigma, while Passive Zeus and Marchmeister complete the top 10 and potentially the grid. We currently, though, have a couple drivers maybe looking to go out again, but at this point the track is a little bit too wet and you're going out on it inters. So unless you feel you can get into the 1 minute 5, low 5s, maybe 4s for Passive Zeus, which you probably won't in the intermediate conditions anyway, I don't really see the point. Marchmeister going out as well, but I don't really see the point in going out at this stage. And with that in mind, we currently have just those two going out on track. But we'll see what happens next. With maybe them looking to try and get a final well, maybe a couple seconds, but if you're Marchmeister, you're gonna have to try and pry that 1 minute 8 away from Passive Zeus. And I don't think that's really possible at this stage with 10 minutes to go and the intermediates firmly out. Half the grid believe that we already are going to go straight into the race with limited sort of running needed, and they believe the day's done with intermediate conditions out already. We'll see what Passive Zeus can do though with the intermediate tyres. Is it going to be worth it? We'll see on their MFD and on their lap times to see if they make any sort of improvement. We currently go down towards turn 1 as we go into the braking zone. Using up that ERS before going into the braking zone. Got to be careful there on entry because of how slippery it is becoming. And that Mercedes will not be the most easiest thing to drive now in comparison to the conditions that were earlier on in the session. Yeah, you're 1.2 seconds down, Zeus. That is quite a substantial time to be lost. And I don't think you're making up the time necessary there. I think this is all a little bit of a waste of time now for these drivers who are just, I guess, trundling around. But if there isn't really any need to, I guess there will be probably some retirements from the session. A couple of drivers going out, maybe unless they're feeling that the race is going to be intermediate conditions. And we now go, yeah, he's backed off there, unfortunately, for the Mercedes, and Marchmeister's invalidated his lap time, so all the other drivers just come into the pits now. I don't really see a point in staying out for the remainder of this session. If you're Burl, I'm not exactly sure what you're doing, and you see the Mercedes come into the pits. Yeah, the drivers will probably have to come in very shortly, unless, well, there's probably not really any point in staying out on circuit other than getting some intermediate practice. Going down towards turn 1 for Burl. Let's see what he can do. He looks much more confident in comparison to Passive Zeus on the intermediates. We've got a bit of a snap and oversteer on exit as we continue up towards turn 2 and turn 3. Yeah, the times are really not going to be improved at 1.8 seconds down in the first sector alone for the McLaren. So at this stage in the session, it is all about just getting a bit of practice in with those intermediates. But if it's going to be dry in the race, there isn't really any point in staying out as he goes down towards turn 4. But just got to go onto the grass and onto the gravel, and that is ended him off into the escape road there. Very, very, very difficult conditions for the McLaren driver, and unfortunately he's been caught out by them. We will go to Marchmeister, who's currently on a lap, but I don't think they'll be getting anywhere near the top end of the field, near Passive Zeus, really, of the intermediate conditions now after completing their times on dries. It's a bit of a late run from Marchmeister. And unfortunately, with only 6 seconds until Passive Zeus's time's gone by, it's going to look very unlikely that he's going to complete a time that is better than the Mercedes. No, he's already gone by and crossed the line, the 1 minute 13.5, and that's what he's kind of stuck with. The drivers will probably be looking now to come into the pit lane and retire from the session, but with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go, I don't see why anyone else would want to be out there at this stage. Formula Leon, though, continuing on with the intermediate conditions, goes a bit wide on the exit of the final corner, and that is his going 9.2 seconds slower than his current dry tyre time. So just getting the laps in, I assume, to get some confidence, I guess, if they need it. But at the moment, Gary's pole, he's pretty much secure. Burl retires in the pits. I wonder if any of the other drivers will do the same. Yeah, I think everyone can retire if people are looking in the Discord chat, or if they're listening in, just retire from the session because it's going to be complete wet conditions with 6 minutes to go. I think the day is done for qualifying. Gary Gator takes pole position ahead of Alfred, Formula Leon and Funny Wayban and Burl rounding out the top 5, while Alex Carrigo, Stars Khan, Extreme Enigma, Passive Zeus and March Meister complete the second half of the grid. As we see Formula Leon just about to pull it into the pits. Yeah, a couple drivers coming in and retiring. So just Extreme Enigma and Formula Leon needing to retire now. As we come into the pit lane. No more track action, and that is going to be days done for these guys. Well, with that quick one, we're going to wait for Extreme Enigma to retire, and then we can crack on with this session. We just wait on Extreme Enigma to retire with just 5 minutes to go in the session. So, with that in mind, we will take a short break while we wait for everything to sort itself out. We'll be back for the 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. Back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the Austrian Grand Prix. We're currently on our formation lap as we look ahead for a 36 laps race with dry conditions. No threat of rain by the sounds of things from the drivers. So we'll see what can happen. Well, 8 of the drivers start on medium tyres with hard tyres for Sluzkar and softs for Passive Zeus. Is going to be one of those races where strategy plays a big factor. We're looking at a 2-stop race for most, maybe 1 stop. It looks out the window. However, if you are conservative with tyres, it could be possible. We've just gone round sector 3 now. Gary Gator leads away ahead of Alfred and Formula Leon, while Funny Wayban and Burl sit behind them in the McLarens. Alex Carragher, our championship leader, sits in 6th, ahead of Sluzkar and Extreme Enigma in 7th and 8th. Passive Zeus sits in 9th and March Meister in 10th. But a big opportunity for Gary, for Alfred and Formula Leon, who sit 2nd and 3rd, who need to try and get some points on Alex Carragher to reel him in. They're only 12 and 13 points behind respectively. Well, Gary Gator, though, has nothing to lose and is looking for race victory. Can he do it today? Can someone else take it? We will have to wait and see. Good luck to Walks and enjoy this 36 lap race. We are about to get going. We are ending the formation lap and we're about to go to 5 red lights. Would be nice if we had a better camera angle than this, but we'll have to work with it. Yeah, there we go. We're going to get ourselves ready. And there, the lights are coming on now. We're going to go to 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix for Neo Racing League round 10 of season 5. It's go, go, go as we get underway, as Alfred keeps himself to the inside, gets a better start than Gary as we go into turn 1. Can Gary go around the outside? He does. He manages to cut off Alfred before the Sauber can get himself back up the inside. But the run from the Sauber using the slipstream and toe from the RB, is that going to be enough to go to his outside? He tries it. He doesn't quite get the nose in there. The RB keeps himself there, side by side between Formula Leon and Alfred. Formula Leon knows he needs to get this done in order to try and keep Alfred behind in the championship and then go after Alex Carragher as well, who's already down in 7th. He isn't had the best start. He's trying to go up the inside of Sluzkar. Can't get that to work. Formula Bowl and Funny Wayban are fighting behind them for 4th and 5th. While Alex Carragher moves back up into 6th. Sluzkar tries to go up the inside into turn 7, but turn 6, sorry. Can't get that done. He does now on the hard tyres. He manages to get by the Ferrari and move back up to 6th place after fighting against the Ferrari, our championship leader, for the position. What a start for the hard runner, managing to get the start necessary and take the position. But it's Gary Gator who leads the way ahead of Alfred, ahead of Formula Leon. The already pulling a slight gap over Funny Wayban, but DRS is now enabled for the drivers behind within 1 second window of the drivers behind. Can Alfred get himself by? He can't do it into turn 3 though. He's going to have be a bit closer by the time we get to turn 4. But Gary needs to think about the exit. He does think about the exit, gets a nice enough one there, but he's going to have Alfred all over the back of him by the time he gets into the entry of turn 4. He can't quite do it there as we go now through turn 4 and into turn 5. As we keep our eyes and wits about us, we've got battles extending throughout the field, but the field keeps relatively close. But Bell is starting to fall back as Alex Carragher moves up to 6th place. He's all over the back of the McLaren of Bell now for P5. This, is becoming a bit of a problem for Alex because at the moment, the McLaren is causing him to bottleneck behind him as we go into the penultimate corner. They've got 1.5 seconds back from the leading 4. But at the moment, Alex Carragher is having to focus on the McLaren in 5th. He's going to go into turn 1, try and make a move stick, not quite there. He's going to look at a run, goes a bit wide on exit though, doesn't optimise his exit perfect it to the last dime, but we're going to go down towards turn 3. Alex Carragher up the inside, takes the position into P5, but Bell is going to have something to say about it as he continues to stick it around the outside, doesn't keep the move, make the move completely stick, because here comes Bell with the DRS. Can he get back by? No, he can't. For Alex Carragher uses the extra ERS and stays ahead, but has now got a 2.3 second gap to make back up to the top quartet. We're now on lap 3 of 36, and what a decent start from the top 4 as they pull away from the championship leader. Funny Wayban is sticking with the trio that lead the way But the Gary Gator is going to be looking to try and extend this gap to Alfred. He clearly has decent pace around here, but can he maximise and go around the final corner to end lap 3? It has got a long race if you're Gary, who's having to have that mystery machine in his mirrors the rest of this race. We're going to go into turn 1. DRS will be enabled for Alfred. He's going to be much closer this time round, potentially. Half a second is the gap. Gary, though, is going to be ready for him as he goes up towards turn 3. Is there any opportunity for Alfred to go by? Not quite. He stamps on the brakes and lock up there from the RB. That's going to destabilise him as he goes down into the run for turn 4. Not optimising the entry, losing time. Not optimising the exit, losing time. But Alfred is just too far back to do anything about the RB this time round, while Formula Leon is consistently chasing him still. Meanwhile, battles for between Burl, Sloscon and Alex Carrigo has caused Alex Carrigo down to P7 and firmly far behind the top 2 in front of him now. 1.6 seconds and fallen into the back and the clutches of Extreme Enigma in the Alpine, who will be desperately trying to get by to help his championship rival and try and get championship his teammate who's in the championship battle, and try and help Formula Leon in towards that championship lead. 3-second time penalty for Alex Carrigo for exceeding track limits already. This day is not going well for the Ferrari as Sloscon and Burl battle it out into turn 1. The Red Bull managing to use his DRS to get back by, but switch back there from Burl on the exit after a bounce across the curbs for the Red Bull. That allows McLaren back through for position. Unfortunately for the Red Bull, he's now got the Ferrari back behind him. Is that going to last forever? Not quite. The RB of Gary keeps the Sauber of Alfred behind. Alpine of Formula Leon still in trailing, but funny Wayband still there as well. Alex Carrigo side by side with Sloscon, trying to make the move stick. Dives up the inside. Sloscon can't get the cutback, and the Ferrari makes his way back up to P6. This is all out warfare between the 3 behind them. They're constantly losing time with the top 4, and as things stand, more points are being lost to Alex Carrigo's championship rivals. We will keep an eye on that championship battle as things progress. Meanwhile, Burl is going to have to do some almighty defending as Alex Carrigo screws up his run on the McLaren, and that ultimately allows the Red Bull to try and make a run into turn 1. Can he make any sort of move here? Not quite, as the Ferrari has a DRS, but dive bomb by the Red Bull, tries to make the move stick. The McLaren's unoptimised, but they're 3 wide as we go into the exit of turn 1. Run down towards turn 2 and turn 3. Can't get anything done there for the McLaren, but the Ferrari of Alex Carrigo has potentially finally found his way by, while the Red Bull and the McLaren continue to fight. At the moment, the Burl is trying to defend from Sloscon on the hard compound tyres, but Sloscon can't do anything quite yet as the McLaren uses the DRS and the ERS to stay ahead of the Red Bull. Alex Carrigo, though, has now pulled a slight advantage over the McLaren and the Red Bull, but he needs to gain another 3 or 4 tenths in order to get out the slipstream. But unfortunately, at this stage, he's trying to recharge his battery, which is allowing the McLaren to stick within his DRS range. And at the moment, he's still 3 tenths to good as we go into the penultimate corner, into the final corner. Alex Carrigo will have to do some defending at some point unless Sloscon and Burl continue to fight their battles. As we go back to the battle for the lead, Alfred is significantly closer now to the race leader of Gary Gator. To the inside, he looks to go, can't quite get anything done there. Formula Leon up the inside into turn 2, takes the dive, catches Alfred off guard. Can he make the move stick? Not quite. He gets a bit of tap of oversteer on exit, but he can't quite manage it on the exit. Alfred keeps P2. Formula Leon look to try and take advantage of Alfred's 10 being cautious, but the Sauber manages to make amends and keep his P2 for now. We go through sector 2 and into sector 3. Gary Gator leads the way by 6 tenths of a second over Alfred, over Formula Leon, over Funny Wayband. There's a 6-second gap further back to Alex Carrigo, who already has a 3-second time penalty, but is now pulled that 1.3 second margin over Burl in order to break the DRS. This is the opportunity Alex Carrigo's been looking for, and now he's going to be all out catching this top 4. We are on lap 8 now of 36. Sluzcon gets himself a 3-second time penalty. As I think there's a bit of oversteer or contact between Bell and Sluzcon as we come back onto the action between the two of them. Sluzcon might have some damage there as we go. Yes, he does on that front wing. We're going to go back to the battle for the lead though, as Alfred looks to try and make an attack on Gary, but can't quite do anything there. Formula Leon sits behind them as well, while Funny Wayband still sits in that DRS, causing all three of these guys all sorts of issues. If these guys continue to fight, as now we go into turn 5 and through towards turn 6, Gary, though, holding on to this lead like his life depends on it at this stage. He has a lot more to do, though, as we go into the final couple of corners. As we go out on the exit, Alfred has to do everything he needs to, has done everything he needs to so far to keep Formula Leon behind, but there's not much he could do in comparison to Gary Gator. Formula Leon though comes into the pit lane. That releases Funny Wayband out of the DRS of the top two in front. That might be costly to the McLaren, but the Alpine looking to go for an undercut against Gary, against Alfred. Is that the right time to pit? We've got time. Time will tell, as Gary now has to just deal with Alfred, who's looking to go for an attack. No, he doesn't. Locks up. There goes the RB. But the Sauber that continues to fight, continues to hound the RB. He's going to be biding his time. No, he can get by at any moment. Is he going to look at the opportunity now? Not quite. He sits behind that a little bit longer. Both drivers running the number 2 on their chassis. Bit of an oversteer there by the RB as Alfred backs off a little bit. He likes to sit in and cause pressure for Gary, overcook his tyres that little bit more, use his ERS that bit more, and cause a bit more struggle for the RB when it comes to later on in the race. Maybe cause him to go that lap or two less than he would like, as Alfred stays out. Gary comes into the pit lane, sits to the right hand side and manages to come into the pit lane. As he goes onto the grass, that is very, very unfortunate for the RB, who just about gets that slowed down. Very, very close for him. As he now goes into pit lane, what sort of tyres will he go onto? He is going to go onto the hard compound of tyres for Gary. As things stand, though, it is now Alfred who leads the way ahead of Funny Wayband. But we're going to see Gary Gator and Formula Leon. Where do they come out with in comparison to each other? Both on the hard compound of tyres. Gary is going to lose out position to the Alpine. But here comes Gary. Can he go back ahead of Formula Leon, as Formula Leon tries desperately to stay ahead, as Gary breaks late. Gary tries to get by. He can't do anything at the moment. He now has the DRS. Does he have the opportunity to get by? He dives up the inside. He's not taking that. That's a no, but also locks up into turn 4. That's allowed Formula Leon back through. And on cold tyres, you need to bring these in nicely, Gary, because at this stage, it is going to become crucial to your latter part of the race. And Gary is going to now drop 6 tenths back to Formula Leon. Well, Alfred and Funny Wayband. Alfred continues to lead the way ahead of Alex Carrigoat now as Funny Wayband comes into the pits. Sluzcon will stay ahead as well, but he's now going to get DRS from DRS attacked by the Alpine, by the RB, but can't do anything. Oh, the inside contact between the two. That's out of Formula Leon and Gary Gator. Calls contact. 3-second time penalty for Gary. That is crucial to both their races. That is a very unfortunate move for both drivers, as Gary Gator and Formula Leon collide. Very unfortunate. I don't think Formula Leon realised Gary was there as Sluzcon, as he tried to attack Sluzcon, but he couldn't get by. He lets Gary through. That is very respectful from the drivers. Formula Leon, very, very respectful from him. But that 3-second time penalty for Gary is going to prove costly if he can't get that sort. If no one else gets penalties later on in the race. Gary, though, leads the way over Formula Leon now as Alfred comes into the pits. Alex Carrigoat goes to stay out for another lap. He's looking to go for a different strategy to those around him and looking to try and make amends for earlier on in this race. as Alfred will come out the pits, and we'll see where he comes out in comparison to the two drivers he's been fighting since the start of the race. He comes out behind Formula Leon and Gary Gator. Does he come out behind Funny Wayban? No, he doesn't. He comes out ahead of him as Funny Wayban gets past Sluzcard in for P5. And now the game's set. These four drivers are going for the two-stop strategy, so we'll see what how they do throughout the next stint. However, that penalty Gary has is now looming as Formula Leon looks to go and stick behind Gary. Alfred now cycled out back behind him, but has now got a couple of fresher tyres, which will help him later on in the race. As things stand, though, Alex Carrigo leads the way ahead of Gary Gator and Formula Leon. Can Alex go the distance and do a one-stop strategy, which he might be looking at doing? 9.5 second gap to Gary Gator and the chasing pack, but he's got a lot of worrying to do as the race progresses. Though he's got to really manage his pace and manage his tyres, and I don't think he will be too happy with his early part of the stint, because that has certainly cost him some time. We will go down turn 1 towards turn 2, and can Formula Leon try and make any sort of move? He goes to the inside into turn 2. No, he doesn't. He backs out of that one. Gary has to sit in front that little bit longer. Out of Formula Leon, just showing his nose. And Alfred, though, is not going to hold too kindly to this, because Formula Leon is now ahead of him. And I assume if you're Alfred, you want to be the first in that queue of DRS drivers to try and then attack Gary later on in the race if you want to get a move done. When you feel the time is right, and with Formula Leon being the oldest tyre out of this quartet, it is going to be difficult for for Alfred. Well, it's going to be a bit easier for Alfred to get by, and a little bit more difficult for Formula Leon to defend and attack Gary later on in the race. Alex Carrigo comes to the pits on lap 13, maybe looking to do a different sort of two-stop and maybe carry the tyres later on in the race. We see what tyres the Ferrari has gone on to. He has gone on to a hard set of tyres as well, so he's just gone longer on those tyres. I think he might have been, no, he was on mediums at the start, so we'll see whether he managed to do that. We're going to see Gary Gator though continue to lead as Alfred and Formula Leon go side by side into turn 2. Can he make them, and Alfred make the move, stick on Formula Leon? The championship rivals continue to battle. Alfred is not going to be giving this one up, neither will Formula Leon as we go down towards turn 4. Alfred makes the move, stick, he goes up the inside of Gary. He's not wasting any time this time round. Gary manages to round off the corner against Alfred. He can't quite do anything, but Alfred is going to continue to hound these RB as we go into turn 6, and into turn 7 we go. Can Gary continue to hold on? Because at the moment it has been a bit of a difficult race these last 5 or 6 laps, but he is not giving this one up easily. Funny Wayban is also in this crew. He is going to take any opportunity and any advantage he can get against these three if he senses the opportunity. We're going to see Formula Leon though look to try and make a move back on Alfred, but Alfred's going to not, if Alfred can try and make a move on Gary first, he backs out of that one. That allows Formula Leon to get close as the 4 drivers, the 4 different teams continue to fight as we go up through towards turn 3. Alfred dives up the inside to try and make the move stick. Formula Leon also goes up the inside. Alfred completes the move, but for how long, as Gary is going to be looking to get this one done as quickly as possible to get back into that race leading position. He can't do it quite there as Funny Wayban looks to the inside of Formula Leon, compromising the Alpine's run against the RB, but the Alpine continues again to lead the McLaren in their 3rd and 4th positions. Alfred though now takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix and now tries to make the gap towards Gary, towards Formula Leon, to Funny Wayban to maybe try and break that DRS and secure a bit of advantage over his race rivals at this stage and his championship rivals nonetheless. As we go down towards turn 1, Alfred leads on lap 16 of 36 ahead of Gary Gator, Formula Leon and Funny Wayban. Alex Carrigo sits in P5 ahead of Marchmeister and Extreme Enigma. Sluzcard sits in 8th ahead of Passasus and Burl, who are drivers at the moment. Gary Gator had a little look into turn 3 but couldn't quite get anything done there. As we go down towards turn 4, can Gary get anything done against the Sauber? He can't there, as we continue to watch and wait for the next chapter of this battle to commence, as it is time for these drivers just to relax themselves. Well, not relax themselves, that's the furthest thing from what they'll be doing. Just to recharge their batteries, wait to pick their battles, and go for the move when the time suits them. We now see the Alfred and Gary continue to try and take this 1-2 position, while Burl has had some form of issue in the earlier parts of this lap. The top guys go through and leaving Burl to get lapped, but some form of issue for the McLaren has cost him severely. Alex Carrigot, fastest lap of the race, he's maybe starting to look to use those newer sets of tyres to catch the drivers ahead. And at the moment, that 9.2 second gap, not insurmountable, but very difficult to catch drivers at such similar pace. We now go down towards turn 4. Alfred looks to continue to fight off Gary. Gary doesn't have any opportunity to go for it there, but Gary probably recharging his battery that much more against the Sauber. Passive Zeus hits a 3-second time penalty in the Mercedes. Now this stage not going to cost him any positions, but certainly if there is a safety car later on in the race, it could become costly as long as he doesn't get lapped. We go through towards the end of lap 17 to start lap 18 of 36. Gary might have dropped out DRS there. Is that the crucial mistake these Alfred's looking for? Alfred's got a 3-second time penalty. That's dropped Gary out DRS nonetheless. So Gary and Alfred both on 3-second time penalties. Formula Leon currently on none. Formula Leon to the inside of turn 2. Gary's fighting it. He doesn't have to fight for long because Gary lets Formula Leon get fully by. They're going to try and DRS each other to try and get back towards Alfred, who's stomped off all of a sudden against these two, and that DRS became costly to the RB and the Alpine, and that potentially has allowed Alfred to escape off at the road by 1.7 seconds. And Formula Leon now starting to see problems occur because Gary, who now has dropped back out of DRS, is kind of coming the cork of the bottle here, because Formula Leon without that penalty could potentially go and get Alfred if he can oblige. But at the moment, there's nothing much they can do as they go through towards the final corner. Gary 2.2 seconds out of it now in comparison to Alfred, and at the moment Alfred is really pushing the boat here now. He's looking to try and get as far of a distance as possible to his rivals, because Gary with that penalty isn't quite the problem at the moment. It is Formula Leon, it is Funny Wave, and another 3 second to Alex Carrigot is diving up the inside. Goes Formula Leon. Can he make the move stick? Not quite there. The Formula Leon may become a bit desperate here now to try and get by and then go and stay within the 3 seconds of Alfred, because he needs to get by into turn 4. Gary doesn't quite fight that one as hardly as he did into turn 3, but into turn 4 he now sits behind Formula Leon as we go through the rest of the lap, as 2.4 seconds now between Formula Leon and Alfred. The Alpine, who has had a couple of older hard tyres than the Sauber, will have to look to maybe undercut him again. But Formula Leon is now only 6 tenths away from losing out on the penalty side of race lead as well at the moment. So on lap 20 of 36 we go on to, Formula Leon is pushing now to try and keep Alfred as close as possible. Big oversteer there from the Alpine. That's going to prove costly, as here comes Gary Gator, who will be looking to get himself back by the Alpine as we go side by side as Formula Leon backs out of that one into turn 2. Oh, sorry, turn 3, sorry. As we now go into turn 4, can Gary let Formula Leon... he does let Formula Leon back by. And Formula Leon, though, 3.4 seconds out of Alfred's pit window. And that is ultimately the most crucial thing here, as we see the Alpine just start to lose grip as well. And same the RB, they're both on the older pairing of the hard tyres in comparison to Funny Wayban and Alfred, who have got the newer set. If we look at the strategies right now, 11 lap old hards for Formula Leon, 10 lap old hards for Gary Gayer, 9 lap old hards for Funny Wayban, and 8 lap old hards for Alfred. While 6 lap old hards for Alex Carragher as well. So he is on the freshest of the top 5, but he's crucially the furthest behind and with the most penalties at 9 seconds, which doesn't affect him in terms of position, but as things stand, but can affect him later in the race. Formula Leon lets Gary Gator back through as they continue to DRS swap throughout the next part of the lap. But how important is it to go and catch Alfred? Because now it's a 3.8 second gap. It is continuing to grow as we go down towards turn 4. Gary and Formula Leon continue to fight as Formula Leon, we get a bad camera angle for this, as Formula Leon sits back behind Gary as things stand, but 4.3 second now. Alfred is really using up his tyres at this stage, his extra couple laps worth of tyres, maybe to pull that gap and extend it even further to make it a very unviable situation for these guys to catch him later in the race. At the moment, though, with Gary maybe looking to come into the pits, yes, his tyres are certainly a bit more at the worst end in comparison to the other drivers. He's been pushing them a bit harder than what may have been seen. But now, as Gary comes into the pit lane, he'll put on a new set of tyres to take him to the end of the race. And at the moment, it's a very, very tall task to do so. As we go down towards turn 3, Funny Wayban, it's on the back of Formula Leon. Can Funny Wayban cause any more issues for Formula Leon as we go down towards turn 4? Not quite there, but he certainly may later on in the stint. But at the moment, Formula Leon is now 5 seconds behind Alfred, and that Sauber looks to try and jump the Alpine in the championship and then jump Alex Carragher in the standings as well. Alex Carragher currently sitting on 112 points, currently 113 points, 112 points, sorry, for Alex Carragher, 99 points for Alfred. This could become crucial if Alex Carragher finishes in P5 later on today. But we've still got about a third of the race to sort it all out. As Formula Leon comes into the pit lane, he comes out of the pits and he will be on the hard compound tyres. Where does he come out in comparison to Gary, though? That is the crucial thing. Gary comes out ahead of him, and the lap car passive Zeus as well in the Mercedes, who comes out, who's in P9, is now between them. But there's a fairly big margin between Gary and Formula Leon. Can Gary use his new tyre advantage to catch Alfred once more? It's going to be a very, very difficult time to do so. But if he can do it, he'll certainly put himself back into contention for victory. However, it's a tall task to ask of. We now go down towards the end of lap 24 for Alfred, who sits on the battle in the lead right now with a 3 second time penalty. Funny Wayban comes into the pit lane for his second stop. Alex Carragher presumes in P2, but he does need to stop again. Same with Alfred, and with the drivers behind them trying to quickly cut down that gap, it seems like it could all change. As we now go down into turn 4 for Alfred, we're going to see Formula Leon jump back ahead of Funny Wayban, who's now in P5, and now puts the lap car of Mercedes between them two drivers as Formula Leon laps the Mercedes of Passive Zeus. And at the moment, it is going to become a difficult race for him to manage. As things stand, though, if once the pit stop cycles all go through, there is going to be if Alfred was to finish first, Formula Leon to finish second, and Alex Cargo to finish 5th. If that was how it was to finish, as it was a couple laps ago, 120 points for Alex Cargo, 118 for Alfred, 114 for Formula Leon, 6 points separate those top 3 in the standings. But with 11 laps to go, it could still all change. As Alfred comes into the pit lane, he will probably come out ahead of Gary Gator, who's been pushing on this run to try and catch Alfred and undercut him by a very, very big margin. It's been a big margin to undercut, but Gary is right on the back of Alfred, and all of a sudden has thrown himself back into the race lead battle because Alfred has waited so long, but he's going to have so much better tyres in terms of lap pace. Alfred is going to be looking to try and stay ahead of Gary. Gary is going to be desperately trying to get by the mystery machine, but the mystery machine can't be forgotten because he is now got a good 5 or 6 lap or 3 or 4 lap newer tyres than him, and yeah, 3 lap newer tyres, and that is crucial. And with Alex Cargo now presuming in the lead, will Alex I assume he's going to the end. He will pit again on to another set of tyres, maybe a medium set, but if he tries to go to the end, this now throws a whole nother spanner in the works. As things stand, Alex could very well still win this race. Fast lap for Gary Gator. He's right on the back of Alfred. He is not letting that one go, but another 3-second time penalty could prove costly to his opportunity at race victory. If you're Gary, you are probably not the happiest bunny right now, but you will desperately be looking to get by that snap oversteer. He is pushing like crazy to try and get him back into the race lead, but unfortunately, Alfred is just doing enough right now to into P2 for now. If Alex Cargo does not pit, it's 8 seconds is the gap, but Alex Cargo got that 9-second time penalty, which could ultimately cost him in other drivers right now. Gary is continuing to fight and continuing to just manage to stay with Alfred, but for how long? That DRS is just about to be lost by the RB as the Sauber retakes has P2 and retakes his advantage and reinserts his advantage over the RB, which is crucially out of that 1 second window. Maybe Alfred's tyres and having that extra bit of tyre life, it could ultimately end his day. Alfred, though, with that 3 seconds, 6 seconds for Gary, 9 seconds for Alex Cargo, who might be trying to go to the end. It could be a decent day for Alex Cargo, who had a horrid start at the start of this race, dropping down to P7 at one point, while the top 4 of Alfred, Gary, Formula Leon and Funny Waybound stomped off into the distance. If he can make this one stop work, it could at least put him back into either P3 or P4 if he is lucky. Gary, though, 8 seconds behind him, got to catch 9 laps, another couple of seconds. Otherwise, Alex Cargo's penalty will put him ahead. Formula Leon, though, without any penalty as things stand, 3 seconds behind Gary, will put him behind at the moment. If Alex wins, though, he will extend his advantage. Formula Leon, as I've said that, and that is very much as a commentator's curse, has now got himself a 3 second time penalty. So that at least leaves Gary now only needing to get a 3 second margin over Formula Leon as opposed to a 6 second one. But that is now really opened up the floodgates, because Funny Waveband now has an opportunity to try and make a move stick on Formula Leon, as Funny Waveband also having that 3 second time penalty is going to be trying to take Formula Leon's position away from him. Alfred really closing the gap, though, to Alex Cargo. That's something we need to keep an eye on. 4.7 seconds is now the gap between the Ferrari and the Sauber. Formula Leon, as things stand, needs to try and catch another number of seconds. He's got to try and get within a 6 second window of Alex Cargo, who's currently going into turn 1 as he is going on the exit of the final corner. We're on lap 29 of 36. It is still going still could go any way possible. Alfred, though, is really catching that gap, and is now within the 6-second window he needs of Alex Carragher. And Alex is now looking probably at P2. Up the inside goes Funny Wayban into turn 3. Can he make moves? Sticks Formula Leon, sticks it around the outside. Funny Wayban on the mediums. Formula Leon on the hards. Can Funny Wayban continue to try and make the overtake stick? We're going to get a poor camera angle of this move, and Funny Wayban makes the move stick, passing the Alpine, and meanwhile the McLaren going to have to do a bit more defending as Formula Leon puts himself up the inside into turn 6. This is going to be tight, but great racing between the two, and Leon, just unfortunately for him, is having to sit back down into P5, and unfortunately for him, Funny Wayban is now on the medium tyres and is not going to give up that place back quite so easily. With the penalties in mind, though, Formula Leon could be dropping quite significantly in comparison to Alex Carragher, because Gary, as things stand, is not quite in that window. Alfred will at least take victory in terms of penalties as long as he doesn't get any more. Formula Leon dives it up the inside, bounces the McLaren off the road in contact. He allows the McLaren back past, but they're going to continue to go side by side as we go back towards turn 4. Can Formula Leon keep the position? He does keep the position as Funny Wayban drops back down to P5. That was a mega dive bomb from the Alpine, but the McLaren has to now sit and retry and do what he did only a lap ago. It is on lap 30 of 36 with the race winding down. It is still battles galore further back as Extreme Enigma, Marchmeister and Sluzcon. No, just Extreme Enigma and Marchmeister. That is a lap car further behind. Extreme Enigma is defending from Marchmeister. He's going to have the opportunity to try and take P6 from the Aston Martin, who has 3 seconds extra worth of penalties in comparison to the Alpine, and Extreme Enigma is going to be looking to try and stay ahead of Marchmeister. We will go back though to the battle for P4 as Funny Wayban continues to try and reclaim that position over Formula Leon. He can't do it quite into turn 3. Can he do it into turn 4? We now go down towards turn 4. Can Formula Leon defend this one again, or will Funny Wayban manage to overtake the Alpine? The McLaren sits behind temporarily. We go back, and these guys have been a bit more back and forth. It's been a bit less back and forth, if anything, actually, earlier on. It's now been a bit more back and forth as Funny Wayban has found more and more pace throughout this race. He has not slowed down, but the battle for the lead is heating up as well. Alex Carragher is doing a one-shot and he is not slowing down. He's currently got, though, Alfred, who's got less penalties than him, who could win the race on pens. But who wants to win the race on pens? You want to win the race on track. If you're Alfred, you don't care if Alex Carragher's got the extra penalties. He wants to win this race via winning it on track. Alfred tries to look to the outside as Alex Carragher defends, cut back potentially for the Sauber as he looks to get him on exit. The Mystery Machine looks to the inside, gets to DRS and looks to have the day done. By the time we get to turn 4, he's done the job. Alfred retakes the lead. Meanwhile, battle between Formula Leon and Funny Wayban as we go down towards turn 4. Formula Leon looks the position in terms of the DRS detection line, but he regains it back to P4 ahead of Funny Wayban by the time we get to turn 4. We now go around sector 2 and sector 3 for these drivers. Penalties, though, is certainly going to play some form of factor, because if we look at the penalties now, we've currently got 9 for Alex Carragher, 6 for Gary Gayton, and 3 for Formula Leon, Funny Wayban and Alfred. As at the moment, Gary isn't going to drop a position to Formula Leon and Funny Wayban as things stand. However, could certainly gain a position if he can get within that penalty window of Alex Carragher. 3.2 seconds though at the moment. He needs to get another couple tenths in order to pass the Ferrari and then be a bit more secure. We go back though to the battle for 4th place. As at the moment, Formula Leon and Funny Wayban continue to just scout each other. However, those mediums will start to struggle in comparison to the hards, and it could become costly though, because Formula Leon on those hards has much more tyre life, especially considering there's only a lap difference in comparison to the medium and the hards being put on. And at the moment, Formula Leon, those mediums from other drivers have not lasted particularly too long, which is why drivers have been coming into the pits earlier in the first stints. As we now go down towards the end of lap 33 to start lap 34 for these two, Funny Wayban is starting to struggle in comparison, and he can't quite match the pace of Formula Leon, who is starting to pull that gap a little bit more by a little bit more every single lap. But is Funny Wayban going to take any last chances? Not quite into turn 3. He is close enough as we go on the exit of turn 3 down towards turn 4. Formula Leon seems to at least have it covered at the moment. But Funny Wayban, of only 2.5 laps to go, could try and make it stick. But at the moment, no, they are not going to get past Gary Gator, who has 3 seconds more penalties than them, but it's a 4.3 second gap. Gary is currently looking to get past Alex Carragher, and as at the moment, if it stays like this, Alex will drop down to P4, maybe P5 if these two don't continue to battle. But Gary's now within that penalty window, within that 1 second DRS window, and is now going to try and get past Alex Carragher. We'll continue on with the two fighting out for P4 as things stand, but it is going to be difficult for Funny Wayban to get by a bit of a mistake though from Formula Leon. May have cost him though as we go up towards turn 3. Funny Wayban on lap 35 or 36 looks to the inside, looks to make the move stick, and is this what's going to cause the collision? There's a little bit of contact there on the exit, but they can't quite finish the move as Funny Wayban tries to get him on exit. Meanwhile, Alex Carragher is going to manage to get defend against Gary Gator temporarily, but Formula Leon and Funny Wayban side by side. This is to 100% for position as they go through to the next sequence of corners into the end of sector 2. Can Formula Leon defend? He does so. Meanwhile, Gary up to P2. Unfortunately, the battle was based on going to be decided on penalties between the two anyway. So can Formula Leon stick it and Funny Wayban stick it within the 6 second window of Alex Carragher? If I'm these two, you've got to be careful of how you fight, because at the moment they could be on for an extra position anyway. I know Funny Wayban will be looking potentially at this as a podium, but if these two fight too much, they could cost themselves overall. Alex Carragher using the DRS from Gary Gator to try and keep ahead of Formula Leon and Funny Wayban, but is that going to be enough? We don't quite know. These two going to stick it into turn 3 and Linus Stern for the time being. But is that job done for the Alpine to just manage to stay ahead of the McLaren? As at the moment, Gary is just hoping Alex Carragher along, who has done everything he needed to do for this one stop to work. But is that going to be enough to stay ahead of at least one of the two drivers, in that being Funny Wayban at the very least for Alex Carragher? Meanwhile, down at the final corner, we see Alfred in the Sauber coming round the final corner to take victory here in the Styrian Hills, Austria, to win round 10. We're going to go to P2 for Gary Gator, P3 on track for Alex Carragher, but is that going to be on pens? No, it's not to Formula Leon or Funny Wayban, as Formula Leon takes the final podium spot on penalties. Funny Wayban finishes in P4 and Alex Carragher in P5. For Extreme Enigma in 6th, while Marchmeister will come home in P7. Sluzcon in P8 and Passive Zeus will round out our finishers in P9. Burl, our only DNF, in P10. At the moment, no, Alfred will now put himself in a prime position in the standings as we now go. Let me quickly change that. So, as things stand, Alex Carragher on 120 points, while Alfred only 2 points behind now on 118. Formula Leon sits on 112. 8 points separates that top 3 in the standings. And that is all it is for the final 4 races of the season. That is race done. I think we need some interviews, to be honest. I think we might. Gary wanted one, so we'll have a quick. I did promise him one today. That's fair play to the both of them. Yeah, GG to all the drivers. We are going to quickly see what we can do at Gary. Let me quickly get him up. At 4. Where is he? There you go. Interviews. Let me just quickly get them in and see if I know who one answer's definitely going to be a yes. Don't even need to ask. Right, so we're going to quickly jump Gary into here first because he's been desperately waiting for one for about 3 weeks now. So we'll quickly move Gary in here. Oh, he's beat. Alright, need to reconnect. There you go. So that is race done. I'm just going to quickly open up this because I'm going to need this open. Where is it? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 1 second. That should be good. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's try again for Gary. Round 2. Like, okay, he's just going to kick him. I'm just going to go to the RB chat then. We'll try it again. Hello, Gary. 1 second, mate.
Hello, I'm here now. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it was doing that, but...
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me 1 second. I just need to get the thing uploaded. There you go. Well, congratulations on P2 and pole position. How was the race for you?
Oh, well, that was another tough one again. Alfred, too quick. I tried doing undercuts and everything just to keep up with him, but unfortunately, I couldn't. Pole was good. I was confident I was going to get it. I know my qualifying pace is very good, and my race pace drops off a little bit, but improve that one today. And it's glad I'm here for something which I've deserved.
Yeah, you thoroughly deserved that. Qualifying, it seemed like it was a one and done situation, really, for a lot of the drivers with the rain coming in. Did you foresee the rain coming in so quickly, or was it quite a surprise to you that it came in like that, or was it all planned out?
Well, I saw it was coming in the next 10 minutes, so I went out early, just set a lap on the board, thought I was going to get another lap in, but on my in lap, saw it was raining. So I was like, okay, I've got pole. No one's beating that with any rain tipping down, and luckily it was a good lap. Probably sent it a little bit too hard and nearly got track limits, but we move.
Yeah, it seemed like a bit of a difficult pen, to be honest, because you both with Formula Leon and all the contact. Was it? Did Formula Leon let you back through, or was that genuine overtaking manoeuvre?
No, I think he let me back through. I mean, I could have got that pen removed if I wanted to, but there's no need to. I'd finished on track, no difference. But yeah, I went up the inside in turn 1, which isn't usually an overtaking spot, to be fair to him. And I'm guessing he was going for the overtake on the car ahead and didn't see me. Turned on me, made me cut the track, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's so we've got now a 2-week break. Do you how's your feeling going to the final 4 races? Are you confident with any of the tracks, or are you I haven't
actually seen the tracks.
Let's have a look, shall we? We have,
I know,
Hungary.
I'll usually beat it.
Yeah,
you say Hungary?
Yeah, Hungary's next race, and then Monza, Saudi Arabia, and Spain. Any of those you're confident in?
Hungary. If I can get pole at Hungary and do a good strategy, I'm reckon I could win that race. Well, I'll be honest. It's tough to overtake.
It seems like you did have a decent enough strategy. It just seemed like as well in comparison to Alfred, you had he had a bit more like the early stint tire advantage, going that little bit longer, and that helped him later on in the race. Would you say so?
Well, so first time me and Lee pitted lap 7 or 8 or something like that. We managed to get ahead of him, but because we were battling and we didn't, I'm guessing we both don't really know how to DRS swap. We allowed him straight back into DRS, so it was like he's got a tire advantage of that, and then getting battling means he's able to take the lead, get like a 4.5 second gap on us, and then I knew if I wanted to make it interesting, I'm gonna have to go for an undercut.
Yeah.
I was done by the end of it, but the undercut nearly worked, as I'm sure apfstig was looking in the chat.
Yeah, he was. Let's just say he said as well that you did the only reason you didn't win was because he wasn't commentating.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I wouldn't have won that race anyway. I think Alfred, the only chance I've got on Alfred Alex is by getting pole and just defending for my life. That's the only chance I've got. And Monza, no chance. Well, the other tracks, Spain, maybe,
Spain.
but I don't know about
and
that.
it's Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yeah, no chance. DRS swapping, no chance.
Well, I mean,
Hungary's the best bet.
Well, you've got the pace, you know that, so you see what you can do in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for coming in for an interview. I'm sure you've got the pace, and if you have a bit more belief, you could very much be on the top of the podium by the end of the season.
Just need him to crash, and then he'll be alright.
Well, that's one way to think about it. Thank you for your time, mate, and have a good couple of weeks off.
You too.
See you later, mate. Have a good one. Bye.
You too.
Formula Leon, can you hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you.
Lovely, that's good. Let me just quickly make sure this is switched over. There you go. How's the race for you? P3, how was it?
I'm kind of disappointed in myself. I practiced the whole week, so I wanted at least a P2 again, but with the qualifying, I saw too late that there was rain and I went out a bit late. Yeah, kind of disappointed in myself that I only got P3 and almost P4 even.
Well, I mean, you managed to claw it back just to get within in on the penalties. Was it? So go back to qualifying. We'll start with that. Did you foresee the rain coming so early, or was it quite a shock to you that it did come that early?
I was waiting for I was waiting a bit, and then my teammate DM'd me saying it was going to rain. I didn't realize yet, and then I rushed to get out. And I also forgot to change the setup after qualifying. Yeah, I also didn't get a great lap in.
Yeah, but so it was kind of like it didn't help you going out early either, but. So going into the race, did that change your mindset going into the race of how you were going to approach it, and then, or was it just the same plan straightforward?
Yeah, I always had the same plan, going for a 2-stop. I did try to overtake Alpha, but I just couldn't manage to do it. He was fast in a straight line. I don't know if my race setup would have had more straight line speed. I'm not sure. Yeah, I tried to get past them and maybe get a gap, but wouldn't have been possible anyway.
Yeah. Did you with the tyre strategy? Did you were you having the same sort of issue? Were you having like okay tyre wear, or was it a bit higher than you expected in comparison to say Alfred?
No, not really. I think I did have higher tire wear because I had the quali setup instead of my race setup. So that wasn't great either.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that putting a bit of extra weight on the tyres as well. So we've got 4 races left. You're currently P3 in the standings now. Only 8 points behind Alex Carragher and 6 behind Alfred. Going into the final 4 races, what's your feelings going into it? And is there any and how you feel going into each circuit?
Um, I don't know. Hungary, I hate that track, I'm gonna be honest. Monza also didn't have a great race in another league. I do like Saudi Arabia and Spain, so I might be able to get a good position there. I don't know.
Is it kind of for the next 2 races just try and hold on and get some decent
Yeah,
points and then really hope we get some good races in Saudi and Spain?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got a couple weeks now. You've got about 2 weeks to prepare for the next race in Hungary. So I congratulations on P3. Good luck for the next few weeks and enjoy your break.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one, mate. I'm going to quickly move over to Marchmeister now, see if he wants a quick interview. March, do you want an interview? March? No. Okay. Well, I don't know if he's here. So since he's not, I believe here, we are going to end the stream there. Let me see. Actually, I think that's that one. Okay. I think yeah, he's not answering, so it's fine. Stream. Yeah, him. Let me see if he wants one. If he doesn't answer, then we'll leave it. I guess that's a no. I'll give it 30 seconds. I guess not. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Hello.
You can. Oh, lovely. You can hear me. That's great. Let me just quickly switch it back to this channel now. Did you want an interview?
Yeah and no. I mean,
It's up to you. I can just end it here.
yeah, sure.
Lovely.
Let's go through with it.
Let me quickly get that back. So, how was the race today for you? Let's start with qualifying. How did it go? Well, actually, we saw how it went. Let's start that again. Did you expect the rain? I assume you didn't expect the rain to come that early, and then it kind of cost you.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that there was a rain incoming, but yeah, at that point when I should have went out of the pits, I was adjusting the setup, so I missed my time to get out, and yeah. And by the time my next lap should have been happening, though, it was already too wet, the tracks. So pretty much
Okay.
only lap I could do is on enters.
Yeah.
To try maybe pass reserves, but even then, like I was 5 seconds behind, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, fair enough. It seemed like quite a difficult race. Going into it, did you feel confident going into it at all, or was it is it one of your more difficult tracks anyway?
I mean, I had no expectation, to be honest, because I haven't practiced it really, aside from time trial. I started on mediums, which I thought. I mean, mediums are, from what I understand, mediums are not quite good on this track. So pretty much, I was thinking I'll just suffer at the beginning, get through the mediums, and then push on with hards. Which when I switched to the first set of hards, I was doing pretty okay for myself. I mean, obviously the top 5 was out of reach at that point, but you know, 6th place would have been a good position to, you know, get. But then in the second stint, there's just, yeah, I just lacked pace against the Enigma, who, to be fair, was quick today. A bit quicker than I expected, but yeah, just unfortunate that I wasn't able to keep up with him that second stint, which I still don't understand why. I mean, I do understand because Pastor got in the way when he just happened to bit in between us, and he disturbed me and Nick a bit, but you know, no, I'm pretty much throwing excuses at my expense, so
I mean,
yeah. But
mean,
yeah, it's pretty much, you know, it's what it is. I wish I could have finished sixth. That would have been the best position to finish, but you know, it is what it is.
I mean, it seemed like early on, it seemed like quite early on the top four. Well, and then once Alex Carragher got going, it was quite a difficult race for anyone else to get anywhere near them. But at the same time, you've done quite. You've managed to get to the end of the race there. I don't think you got many penalties. I think you only got 3, didn't you? If I'm correct, or 6.
I got 6. I got
Yeah.
6.
So
yeah.
yeah, but still, considering I've seen like some drivers with a significant amount of penalties at this track, it's still a very decent run today, and you've done decently. At the end of the day, getting points is what matters, and just consistently bringing them home as well. So going into the final 4 races, we've got a break week now, of course. Going to the final 4 races, what's your feeling?
I mean, what happens, what happens. I mean, I'll see if I manage to find time to practice, because for the most of the season I pretty much was running with 0 practice, or 0 proper practice, should I say, for the Grand Prix. So, in terms of tracks, I mean, Hungary I tend to do quite well. So the best expectation probably would be for Hungary to deliver a good result. And then what was it? Monza. Monza's a hit or miss. Saudi next, and it's hit or miss, and Spain is same things, hit or miss for me. So yeah, best chance I can get a good result in this Hungary, pretty much.
Well,
But yeah, we'll see.
yeah, well,
But basically, my objective right now is to fight with the likes of Hydronics and Waveban to try and get 6th position in the championship.
well,
But nothing's guaranteed. We'll see what we can do.
well, consistency at least and getting some points will certainly help towards the matter. So, good luck for next couple of races and enjoy your week off. That is going to be the end of the stream. It is now a 2-week break before we go to Hungary, and then Monza, Saudi Arabia, and Spain to round out the season throughout October. Thank you all for watching, and that is everything. Goodbye.